So hello and welcome once again to my layout New Junction. It's been a couple of weeks now, but progress has been continuing long into the evenings, and we've now got 3 of the main lines running. So join me for this layout update. So if we start down this end, I think you'll agree that being the most complete end, it's a good place to start, even though not a lot's been done to it in a while. Now, this is starting to look a bit unkept now. You can see at the top all the trees are falling over, some of the fence and bushes have been moved around. But what a difference it makes having several trains running on this scene. So as we follow the Class 31 around, there has been a little bit of work because I've added in my first home signal, which you can see just behind the coaches there. Now, once this is done, it will, obviously the road will come up here, lift up to the overbridge and go diagonally across and then down the way here. So this signal will sit just in front of the bridge, which I think, if I bring you back ever so slightly, looking down the scene, there it is, with the bridge, which will be where my sort of bottom fingers are. I think that'll just cap off that scene nicely and add a bit of nice interaction. And of course, this will be illuminated as well. It's one of the DAPL home signals. It just needs powering up for this. Even though there are 4 trains running, they're nicely spaced out with the layout in this format. Now, obviously, I've got them running quite slowly at the moment. Still, hopefully, relative speeds to each other. So the Zoomers going the fastest, followed by the 37, then the 66, and then the 31 in the background, as you can see, is going the slowest. But because the controller is on the inside, I thought I'd play it safe and just slow them down just in case. Although it did occur to me the other day that if a train were to go off the end here, it wouldn't just stop because all my locos have stair lines, so it would keep rolling. So I need to hurry up with these edges because, accident waiting to happen. And talking of accident waiting to happen, actually, what I'm going to do is just bring you round this end to show you something horrifying. So as you can see, this is the new corner with the 3rd line. Excuse the camel work. I'm trying to do this all in one. So if I just stand back a little bit. So it actually looks quite a tight curve on this view, but it's not as bad as it looks. But the start of the track down here in the bottom right of your screens, I had to actually start underneath the tunnel because the end of the track was actually damaged when I moved the scene. But as you can see, it comes all the way out and scarily too close to the edge here, which in fact is moving. Oh no, we're all right. So it is definitely a job for the future for North. Let's resend to you to basically extend the baseboard this way so it can take the 4th line. And the reason for that is because in the garage, although I could get 4 lines on this curve, some of the trains, there'd be areas where they'd pinch and they'd hit each other and stuff like that. And I just want reliability now. So as you can see, the Azuma going past the Castle Cement train there works a treat. And what I'm going to do is, all being well, I'm going to ruin someone's day by making you really anxious. So as you can see in the background, where there, the 37 is coming. So I'm just going to pause this until it's coming through the tunnel. And we're back, just like that. And how nervous is this making you all at home? Having that piece of track so close to the edge. Look at that. Whew. That's faith in road holding. Now, no loco or rolling stock is ultimately safe long term, so that, all joking aside, that does need to be addressed. Currently the dog bed is just underneath it, but yeah, that's something we need to get sorted. Right, less of that. Back down the layout we go. Look at that, 4 trains running and there's nothing in front of me. So as we come back to this side, an area, as I just mentioned, that needs addressing is I need to get this bridge sorted. It's been far too long now. I think what I'm going to do in the short term is go for the Bachmann Scencraft bridge and try and fit it in over a single line. And then coming down here, we come back to the station. Now, the station has changed quite a bit. As you can see, it's now got a roof. Well, it's got a roof on this side, and it's not quite finished. It's probably 90% done on this side, and then it's not done on the other at all, because it's interesting. But I thought I'd do this side just to try it out. One thing I do need your opinion on, though, as we can see the trains going past, so it's a good opportunity to talk about it, is the fence. Because Thirsk Station is quite special, and one of the reasons it was chosen, actually, was because the 2 centre lines at Thirsk are non-stopping, and they actually have fences on both sides of the platform. I've done one so far, and this is the... I've got it just here because I knew I'd forget. It's the Ratio Models double gauge fencing kit, and it's the LMS station fencing. Now, it did come white in the packet. I primed it and then coated it with some smoky black spray from Rail Match, which I think's turned out quite well. There we go, you wait ages and 2 come at once. But I've only just put it up actually this week, so I'm just trying to decide whether it works. I think in this image, as we're looking, it kind of works, but it does feel like it blocks a lot of the train off. But the trains in the middle, in the centre lines, wouldn't stop anyway, and if they were to stop, they'd come on the outside, which is ultimately what the point is, because the point work allows stopping trains to come to the outside platforms on either side. Hopefully that makes sense. So what's next for the station? Obviously the actual building itself, the PGM building, that still needs to be finished. I need to put the frames and the glazing in the roof, and of course I need to finish the other side of the roof and bits of this side. I'm also going to start adding details to it. So I've got some Sankey Scenics stickers, which I think are great. And what I tend to do is I mount these on sort of plastic card, just so they last a bit longer, and then stick them in. Now it's interesting because here is a double information board, which I like using quite a lot. However, Thirsk has triple ones, and I was just wondering, does anyone know of anyone that actually sells the triple station boards as a sort of the framing for them as a kit, or do I have to mock something up myself? I don't mind. It's just yeah, I know Bachmann do a double one because I've used them before. So yeah, that's the next thing, detailing up the station. And talking of detailing up the station, I have to say I was at Model World Live a couple of weeks ago now, and I met a chap called Colin, who very surprisingly handed me a bag, and it was full of these bits for the station. So we've got a Western Wagon Works, it's all Western Wagon Works, wheelchair and trolley. We've got some bins, some salt bins and grit bins, a newspaper stand, and some sack barrows. Now, I was quite blown away by it at the time, but as you can see, they're all going to be part of the station. They've currently been primed, and they'll be painted up momentarily. So they're absolutely perfect for this scene, and I was quite blown away, to be honest, because it was completely out of the blue, and yeah, I was, well, as you can imagine, quite taken aback by someone who's been following the channel, seeing the progress, and then jumped ahead. It's extremely kind. I presume it's just a sort of little thank you for putting all these videos together, but as I always say, it's no bother, and it's better than talking to the wife. If she sees that, I will be in the doghouse. Right, now, coming back to the heritage line, so moving away from the modern image station for now, third station, it was pointed out, I actually saw this on one of Megapoint's videos about making tracks. Pete and the team were all having a cup of coffee, like an afternoon pause, and they were talking about my wall. I couldn't believe it. But they did make a good point, is this wall is actually too tall for what Larson walling could support. So in theory, it'd probably be only halfway. So there does need to be some landform in front of it, because just to make it look a bit more realistic. And then that got me thinking, the actual heritage line itself, to put a station somewhere here, all sort of crams it up a bit, but I had a rather crazy thought. Now bear with me, I'm just going to move the camera. Am I on? Right, bear with me, this is rather silly. Ignore me messes of empty boxes. See this? This is an 8-foot by 2-foot section of baseboard. It's equivalent to 2 modular pieces on the layout. And what I'm going to suggest is absolutely stupid, but you get the gist. So, imagine this was on here. Right, you still with me? Hopefully you can see me. Now, I wouldn't just bolt on an 8x2 section. I would sort of shape it in time better. Maybe even a third one, actually, looking at it now. Just to create a bit more of a city scene. Now, I'm not talking anything stupid, so realistically it'd probably be sort of there. In fact, if I cut it in half, I could use the other half of the board over there. The idea being, the heritage line would move away from the wall. That would allow me to have some landscape in front of it. The track would still be on the main boards, because let's keep it simple. But then the station would be out here. That would then allow me to not only bring the roadway across a level crossing, it would also give me room to put something a bit different, maybe like a Premier Inn or something, a real signature piece of modern town scene with a car park and whatnot. But it would also allow me to have a turnaround for the car system to go back on this side of the layout. And I just think it would be a nice change, something a bit different. I might even have room for sort of, I don't know, engine shed or a museum or something. It's all up in the air at the moment. But yeah, you can kind of see where I'm going, and it's the same level of crazy idea that got me in this room in the first place. So do let me know down below in the comments what you think. Obviously this won't be anytime soon, I will add, because I want to get this corner done first, but it does just mean that the heritage line is up for moving ever so slightly, which is all part of the fun. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments what you think to this idea. Stupid or go for it. So moving around, I've tried to keep the layout as tidy as possible where possible. Now, as you can see, like most layouts, you end up using any space available. So one of the next jobs coming very soon is actually to clear all this off and get the landform in, the foam, and then get it sculpted, so we can really start to picture this bit around here and just see how it's gonna end up, and not be a place for my orange juice and my tools and my ballast and my sprays. Or we could pretend that's a city, you never know. I think what I'll end up doing is there is just enough room for the 4th line on the end of this one. The curves are much more gradual. But I think what I'll have is a tunnel entrance here, landform all around, and then possibly a motorway or dual carriageway bridge across the main line just to cut the scene off here. I was actually thinking one neat idea for behind that could, in sort of this space, could be I fancy trying one of the Making Tracks buildings. Now, not as they come because they're far too big, but Phil of PGM, link in the description, he does a smaller version basically, which I think would fit there quite nicely and sort of really sort of tie in the scene to as if the railway's going off into the sort of cityscape. So you could probably put one there and one in the corner, and then with the railway being cut off itself here, not being able to see the railway where here at all, it'd probably be a nice backdrop looking that way. But yeah, let me know what you think, especially with the other idea of extending the Heritage Line scene. But yeah, as you can see, we're getting somewhere now, and typically, isn't it? I pull you back for a nice view of the whole thing, and all the trains disappear. In fact, I've got more trains running now than I've ever had running on a new junction layout, and they're as big as they've ever been, and then bam, disappear. Here comes the Azuma to save the day. That just looks lovely. Now it's working, now it's got a bit more weight in it. It's had absolutely no trouble at all. And yeah, I'm really chuffed with it now. It's one of my favourite trains. It's very, very current and very, very East Coast. I don't think I'll be getting the sort of Century set. I'm not sure if they do a Darlington one yet, but if they do, I'm not 100%, because they do them as 5-packs. And it's a very expensive edition to get a 5-pack. Now, if they did the power car or even the power and dummy car, not that there's any point, but if they did the just the power car, I would happily save up and add that to the fleet and just stick it on the front, basically for a different livery. But yeah, as a 5-car pack at £500 a go, maybe 400 if you can get a deal, but yeah, it's a bit much. That said, the model in the current livery is stunning, and yeah, I think it's really nice. Anyway, moving on. Let's take you to the other side to have a look at the Fiddlyard. So I have morphed into the middle of the layout, and as you can see, this is the 7th line, the newest line, which gets the 3rd main line working. I've gone for the curved points again. But so far, because I'm sure I said it in a previous video, always keep lots of packs of couplings and fish plates and insulating joints and all that stuff to hand. And yeah, I've run out or lost them. So yeah, we've got one line for now. But as you can see, it's quite full. It's going quite well. All the lines work. And yeah, not much really to show really. The Class 37 is coming down the newest line. So yeah, I think by the time it's finished, there's another, in theory, I want to try and get another 5 lanes in. That should be perfect for the amount of stock I have, because I've still got a 91 set to come out. Obviously my HST, which isn't all on the track just yet. But yeah. Talking of stock, I don't know if you can just see peering in there, I've actually got myself a full rake of Drax hoppers. Now, that's quite a long train. I think there's 16 of them in total. And as you'd imagine, quite a purchase, but with the influx of things like the Acura Scale Class 60 coming out very soon, I thought I wanted to concentrate on getting the trains for them, because I've got a pair of those coming. So I've got my biomass hopper train out and ready to go. That's the one with all the graffiti, but of course typically the graffiti is on the opposite side, so you can see it when it's going around the front, but not when it's here in the Fiddlyard. And then of course you've got the Drax train, which I will save and talk about more when I've got my 60. I don't want to bore you to death too much in this video. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm still waiting for my edges. That's why I've not done the siding, the second lane on the Heritage line here. Sorry, I went off on a tangent then. With the Drax wagons, I've not won the lottery in that sense. What I actually did was I gathered together a lot of the old stock that I'd collected. I say a lot, there's a handful of bits, and actually traded them in. So I did the, rather than sell them direct, which is what I'd normally do, I actually sent a list to Rails of Sheffield and TMC, and they quote me happy, and you sort of play them off each other a bit and see where they actually stop. And yeah, that was quite a painless process. Just give them the stuff, and yeah, they give you more toys. So, and I'll tell you what, actually, I want to show you what else I treated myself to as well. Something very, very random. You just nip down here. Let me go and get it. There you go. I actually got myself a Bachmann narrow gauge Britomart, which seemed to set the internet on fire. Everyone thought I was suddenly doing 009 or NG7. Now, the narrow gauge range from Bachmann's actually very, very nice, actually, and I've seen Britomart. Now, Rails actually had, this is pre-owned, and they had this for an absolute steal, because as you'd imagine, all new locos can be quite costly, particularly for this tiny little thing. So what I actually plan to do, hold on, in the back, is taking my Rapido trains flat, which was produced exclusively for Tony's Trains. Shameless plug. I'm actually going to run this round as a bit of fun on the Heritage line, which I think will be quite fun. And there we go, just like that, you've got a bit of fun, something a bit different. Now, I've seen this set up a couple of times before, and to buy a brand spanking loco of any sort is a considered purchase these days. But yeah, when this was in the pre-owned cabinets at Rails of Sheffield, I couldn't resist. Yeah, and that'd be quite quirky going around the Heritage line, I think. So watch this space. And there we go. I think you'll agree, touch wood, the layout is working quite well at the moment, and long may it continue. All I need to do now is, I suppose, pull my finger out and get the fourth line sorted and working, because I don't think the fourth line has never actually worked while the layout was in garage mode, so it's never actually ran a loop yet, so that will be quite an achievement when that happens. The videos, I should say, have been a bit sparse recently, because I've been doing a lot of model railway shows back to back. I think we've had 6 weekends back to back of doing these things, which is great fun. However, it doesn't leave much spare time to come here and work on this. So I'm glad now I've had a couple of evenings to really get my head down and get on. And the last show being next week as I'm filming for me. So it will be, yeah, back to normal, and hopefully the updates will continue as before. I just want to say, as ever, a big thank you to all the channel patrons and YouTube members. Without your support, none of this would be possible, and especially the frequency. But yeah, hopefully you'll agree it's worth it, even if it is just me mumbling along here in the old layout room. Right. So, I never want to say goodbye to these things because it's nice just watching trains go around, isn't it? No, I need to turn the trains off and continue with the layout. So, as ever, thank you very much for watching. I will see you very soon in the next one. And don't forget, if you want to see more, click subscribe and the like button. It's completely free to do so and be notified every time there is a brand new video of me messing around here in the unit. Thanks as ever. Bye for now.